YouTube, what the crap's going on? Hello and welcome. It is my distinct privilege today to bring you a peek at the next faction that was announced today in the Creative Assembly Total War stream. So yeah, the Avars. So let me just start off by saying, I need to look at the year here. I'm a little ways into the campaign, but okay. So welcome to 781 AD, where I will be representing the Avars. So let me tell you a little background about this faction. It'll kind of be fun. This is not something I just knew on my own. I went and looked up some information. So essentially, really most historians consider the Avars to be the successors of the Huns as far as their way of life, and especially in the fact that they were big time in mounted warfare. So they settled in the Huns' former territory and almost instantly set upon a course of conquest. After they were hired by the Byzantine Empire to subdue other tribes, their king, Bayan I, allied with the Lombards under Alboin, to defeat the Gepids of Pannonia, then took over the region, forcing the Lombards to migrate to Italy. So I will show you how this campaign lays out on this map a little bit, just to kind of introduce you a little more to them. But essentially, the Avars eventually succeeded in establishing the Avar Khaganate, which encompassed a territory corresponding roughly to modern-day Austria, Hungary, Romania, Serbia, Bulgaria, and including parts of Turkey. The departure of the Lombards for Italy in 568 removed another hostile people from Pannonia, enabling Bayan I to expand his territories with relative ease, and found the empire, which lasted till 796, when the Avars were conquered by the Franks under Charlemagne. So, that's a little bit about the Avars. Now, when you start off the campaign, you will start off in control of these two provinces here. Could be a little bit off, but I'm pretty sure you start off at least mostly in control of these provinces, if not entirely in control. As you can see, I'm a little ways into this campaign, and it has been a lot of fun, and it's been a challenge to get expanded, and your neighbors are definitely not real friendly to you as the Avar. So let's just dive in, kind of take a look at the faction here. Here's the summary of the faction. Still got my starting faction leader. I can't begin to pronounce some of this stuff properly. But yeah, you can see that right now I have a little bit of a few wars going on my hands, and I'll kind of tell you a little bit about how that's been going. You can see that my religion here is Tingriism. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. As far as the cities go for the Avars, it's been pretty fun to mess with it. The building trees have been altered a little bit in this campaign to make it a little more unique. I think that just maybe to give you a general perspective, at least with the Avars, I can't speak to the others because I haven't really spent time with them yet, but you'll find that the public order and squalor penalties are quite a bit different, and the building trees are unique to this campaign, and are very interesting. The art style I find in the campaign to be quite nice, and this isn't as much as just a review as maybe, because I'll bring you a proper review when all this is ready to be reviewed. But right now, just wanted to kind of introduce you to what I've experienced so far with the Avars, and it's been fun. So what can you expect? Well, I'll show you from a combat standpoint what you can expect, but on the campaign map, you can expect some enemies. The Lombards. They have given me quite a fight, and I'll tell you the Bavarians also gave me quite a fight, though I have them pretty much subdued. You have Bohemia to your north and west, and then now I'm starting to butt up against the Kingdom of the Franks, and the Bavarians actually still have a province over here. So yeah, now it could get real. I'm trying to kind of keep my back against the wall as much as possible. I've been having to fight off naval raids here in Croatia, and they've been coming from all kinds of factions down here, like the Duchy of Benevento and the Theme of Sicily. So been very interesting fighting as the Avars, and the factions that you're going against here. I find this fun because the Avars are a very different faction. Their horses give them the strength, as I noted in the little history thing, and as you might expect. However, they have some interesting, unique infantry that I think really puts a nice touch on the Avars. So, but yeah, that's kind of what you'll expect from a campaign standpoint. You're going to have to be aggressive. You're going to have to take risk, and you're going to have to expand your empire before others decide that you're too weak and declare war on you in return. The war weariness does play into the campaign, and if you're losing battles, your people will get weary of the war, and they won't like it. If you're winning and you're showing them the path to victory, then you can continue to wage war against your enemies. So it's kind of like an added incentive to make sure you're doing well in the battles. Just as far as tech tree, I'll kind of show you the Avar tech tree here. You've got military, of course, and civic on the bottom. I don't know how different it is, again, than the other factions. I find, though, it's pretty fun, and where I think the Avars are going to be nice. In early campaign, you can actually put together some pretty potent armies with just a little bit of... I don't even know if you need research for it, to be honest. You don't. Or, yeah, maybe you do to get the Warriors Hall. I can't remember. But what you really want to recruit, in my mind, is something like this. Someone may find a build they like better, but I bring a few Levy Spearmen just to kind of round out a larger amount of infantry. These guys tend to have a slightly better block chance than my other infantry. These Tribesmen, and again, I'll show you these guys in combat, they are bow-armed spearmen who have a nice armor as well. They do not have shields, so they're not as good at blocking things. And their stats in combat are not spectacular, but they do have that spear. They have a good attack versus cavalry. So this becomes kind of like that flex unit. Combine that with your Avar horse archers, and you're going to find yourself raining missile death all over your enemies. It becomes very fun. Follow it up with some relatively low-tech Avar lancers here, and you can be putting down a serious beating on your enemies by luring them out into a pitched battle, and as they watch the sky darken with the missiles that you fire at them. From an economic standpoint, you will struggle in the beginning. You have to push, you have to build and grow, you have to get your food supply secured. There is fertility in this map, similar to what we saw in the previous campaign map. So yeah, just to kind of give you an idea, the land you start in is not bad when it comes to fertility, though there's richer lands, as you can see, and it looks like the fertility levels look working a little different in this campaign. So you can push and try and take more fertile lands. You can see that there's resources still, some of which I don't know if these were in the base game or not, but there's things like, I think they very well could have been, but cloth is the only thing that I'm not quite certain of. But yeah, you have the resource opportunities to take advantage of as well. But like I said, lots of enemies. It's very fun. I definitely recommend you get yourself into this and play yourself some Avar campaign if you are a fan of mounted combat. The nice thing is, though, is they have a nice enough infantry backbone to make things interesting. So yeah, anyway, that's a quick peek at the campaign map. Let's go take a look at the battle. So welcome to the battle map with my Avar armies. In this particular scenario, the Duchy of Benevento made the mistake of thinking that they could take Aquileia from me, and I have come to gain my revenge. You'll see that I'm using the formation. Here's my tribesmen ready to rain arrows and use their spears for self-defense, while my Avar horse archers light up the enemy cavalry, literally, with flaming arrows, and just wreaking havoc in the enemy ranks. The enemy cavalry can chase you, but they will not be able to catch you. You can see as their main troops approach, they are peppered with missiles from my lancers and from my tribespeople. My tribespeople mowing down other supporting cavalry. The levy spears make up a nice formation here to block the enemy charge. So whereas other factions may have some benefit over you with infantry, the levy spears provide kind of an anvil for your troops to function around. Again, the flaming missiles, use them a lot, and apply generously to your enemies. The Avar Lancers, light shot cavalry, great against other cavalry on the charge. Though, do not be fooled, this battle mechanic is slightly different than what we saw in the main campaign. The cavalry do not just plow straight through infantry as they once did. Your Avar cavalry have to be used strategically in support of your infantry, which you will find a fairly easy time doing as your tribespeople and horse archers gain you cavalry supremacy by raining fiery death upon the mounts of your enemies. Of course, you can use all types of different ammunition with these guys. They have plenty of ammo, their missile damage is sturdy, and you will be able to hurt your enemies badly with them. So after taking Venezia, the Republic of Venice thought that they would be clever enough to come back. They had been out on a pleasure cruise on the seas. Their armies sailed back, and I was also attacked by a land army so that they could try and pin me from both directions. So outside the walls of Venice, I sally out. the Avar horse archers to beat my enemies. Obviously going for the pretty standard Avar destruction of depriving the enemy of their cavalry, whilst my tribespeople rain a lot of death down on enemy infantry with their arrows, and levy spears, again providing that backbone. In this case, the Republic of Venice brings some Lombard cavalry with them. Light cavalry, quick cavalry, but not able to keep up with my Avar horse archers, who are now baiting them into a confrontation that will definitely see their destruction. The Venetians bring their army or their navy forward. Their transport ships are going to land, and they're going to attempt to re-seize the town from me. But as their horsemen die in the field outside the city, it will leave these troops unsupported by their cavalry, and essentially ripe for the picking, Avar style. Without the benefit of cavalry to protect them, the remaining Venetian spears and archers are under constant harassment by my horse archer horde. You can see that it can ride at will in the distance, forcing the archers to flee as it fires mercilessly into their ranks, giving them no opportunity to shoot back as they run for their lives and are peppered with volley after volley of deadly accurate Avar horse archer fire. Here's a pretty cool shot of the my Avar spearmen fighting back the Venetian troops as they try and make their way onto the town center. Their archers in the back down by the port firing ferociously, trying to kill my spearmen, but being able to use these, like I said, cheap but relatively sturdy troops, not crazy sturdy, but to hold back the enemy, while my horsemen are able to take advantage of the flanks. The Venetian archers, feeling like they have the safety to fire up and over the rooftops into my position, do not realize that just off to their flank, now that their brethren have lost the mobility, they are now going to be charged. And as they run from my Avar lancers on the one front, my tribespeople meet them on the other side. And now my enemies will be pincered and destroyed, again using the flexibility of these tribesmen in melee. And then earlier they used their missile weapons, and then the speed of the Avar lancers and their ability to chase down light and routing troops, especially once they've been weakened by the substantial missile fire that the enemy will no doubt take from your both your horse archers and your tribesmen. So again, works out quite nice to have this flexibility. Hope this gives you all a nice look at what the Avars have to offer in campaign. Definitely an interesting faction. Liking the units, enjoying the campaign so far. Nice mix of just a different type of game. You get some kind of Hunnic style tactics, but you are not dealing with like the nomad type campaign that you would have had in the original campaign. So definitely enjoying this one. Hope you all enjoyed the look into the Avars, and I will see you in the Age of Charlemagne soon.